how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Senator Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, you know what? I've got a whole slew of birthdays today because it's Wednesday, December the 29th, 2021. Yes, sir, Bob. Half of both my Pokey pals are on the Shen Show, on the birthday shout out list. And, half my uh, Shincho likes are on the birthday list. So here we go. We got a happy birthday shout outs going out to Amanda S. Little, Damian Lee, Jamie O'Driscoll, Brad Booker, Joseph Marshall, Kelley, Hayden, and Tony, you're alike. You're like. So, without further ado, here's birthday song for the five of you. Hey, Tony. Hey, Kelley. Hey, Joseph. Hey, Brad. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Damian. Hey, Amanda. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I must say. You know, you're a 1 year older today, so happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, Amanda. Hey, Damian. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Brad. Hey, Joseph. Hey, Kelley. Hey, Tony. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So happy birthday, I'ma say. Well, that's another trip around the sun that you made. So a happy birthday to you, I say. I said it's a happy birthday to you. I say happy birthday to you all. And to you all, I hope everything's going your way. Amen. Amen. Happy dappy dippy dappy birthday. Then there's the Shen Show shout outs. Yep, those are the folks that like the Shen Show, like, love, or just, protake in the Shen Show. And that would be Jamie O'Driscoll, Doug Bell, Abaye Javonillo, and Javonillo, Amanda S. Little, Lori Moore, and Jamie O'Driscoll. And then there are the Pokey Pals, which would be Joseph Marshall and Amanda S. Little. She just likes to see her name up in print. That's right. Amanda S. Little, there we go. She's up there 3 times today. Whoopie dee, whoopie die, whoopie dee, die. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, all right, all right. That being said, hey, it looks like it's weather forecast time for the St. Charles viewing area. And today's weather forecast is going to be brought to you by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Refreshing Word Fellowship Church is a non denominational fellowship Christian church which is located at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. That's right, 2054 St. Charles Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. Pastored by ordained Pastor John Schumer and Associate Pastor Nathan Moffett. You can contact us at 6363-330-594 or at refreshingwf at gmail.com. Well, that's all right. You can come in at 11 a.m. on Sundays for our Sunday services and catch the 11 a.m. show. That's right, the show. Uh, we'll have praise and worship and catch your message on 11 a.m.s on for Sundays. And then on Thursdays, we have an extra hour of power prayer from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., which rounds out to be about an hour. So come on in to Refreshing Word Fellowship Church in St. Charles, Missouri at 2054 Campus Drive. All righty. Well, all righty then. Hey, you know what? Here's that weather forecast I was going to give you. Temperatures reached way up there today. They climbed all the way up into the 40s. Well, 40 degrees to be exact. Rain is likely. Temperatures near 40. Steady and the upper 30s, possibly getting up to 40. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and chances of rain 90%. Well, showers early, then overnight, increasingly overnight, to some patchy fog with low temperatures of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light and variable at north to northeast at 6 miles per hour. chances of rain 40%. And then for Thursday, December the 30th, cloudy early with partial sunshine expected late in the day. Areas of patchy fog with high temperatures of 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Few clouds from time to time with low temperatures of 39 degrees Fahrenheit overnight, with winds like variable south to southeast at 4 miles per hour. And then for Friday, December the 31st, cloudy skies with slight chances of rain, showers. High temperatures of around 65 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain showers in the evening will evolve into a more steady rain overnight. Low temperatures of 37 degrees Fahrenheit with west to southwest winds, shifting to north to northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 100%, rainfall around a quarter of an inch. And then for Saturday, January the 1st, 2021, rain with a mixture of snow in the afternoon. High temperatures of 41 degrees Fahrenheit, winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of precipitation, that is, 100%. Snow showers are likely, will be coming more widely scattered later on during the night. Low temperatures of around 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm going to say that will be a definitely snow. Uh, Winds will be northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of snow 60%. Snow accumulation less than an inch, but hey, regardless, it'll still be slippery. So be careful of that. And then for Sunday, January the 2nd, 2022, partly cloudy skies with high temperatures of 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west to northwest at 10 to 50, or 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then clear skies overnight with low temperatures of 13 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light and variable southwest at about 5 miles per hour. And then for our fifth and final of our 5 day forecast, Monday, January the 3rd, 2022. Sunny skies, sunny skies. High temperatures around 46 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear to partly cloudy with low temperatures of 29 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And so there you have it. That's your 5 day forecast for the St. Charles Giving area. Who do we got out there? A yak and a yak. A yakety yak. Yakety 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 yak. Just pick up them papers and that trash. Song lyrics, yakety yak. Take out them papers and that trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak, kadoom talk right. Yakety yak, kadoom talk right. Just finished cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust flying with that broom. Get all the garbage out of sight, or you don't go out on Friday night. A yakety yak kadoo dog right. Well, you just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundromat. And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. A yakety yak kadoo dog right. Don't you give me no dirty looks. Your father's hip, he knows what cooks. Just you hoodlum, tell your hoodlum friends outside. You ain't got time to take a ride. I said, yakety yak, kadoo dog right. Yakety yak, oh, yakety yak. I said, yakety yak, oh, yakety yak. Yakety yak and yakety yak. Yakety yak, kadoo dog right. All right, all right, all right. All right. You know, old Doug Bellbell, he's a truck driver too. I used to drive trucks years ago, and well, I thought I might include a truck driving song today just for you, Doug. Oh, let's see. Song lyrics: Big wheels rolling. Big wheels rolling. Big wheels rolling. Big wheels rolling, moving on. Big wheels rolling, gotta keep 'em going. Big wheels rolling, moving on. Well, the white line is the lifeline of the nation. And a man like Gibson, Ronnie, make it move. Oh, living like a gypsy, and always on the go, doing what they best know how to do. Well, jamming gears has got to be a fever, 'cause men become addicted to the grind. It takes a special breed of man to be a truck driving man, and a steady hand to do that loop behind. Big wheels rolling, big wheels rolling, moving on. Big wheels rolling, gotta keep 'em going. Big wheels rolling, moving on, moving on. Well, at night time, the country music keeps 'em going. Kicks and Ronnie keep on moving on. Hey, big hot cup of coffee is waiting up ahead, and ain't the rhythm on that highway hums along. Jamming gears has got to be a fever, 'cause men become addicted to the ride. It takes a special breed to be a truck driving man, and a steady head to toll that loop behind. Big wheels moving, big wheels rolling, moving on. Big wheels rolling, gotta keep 'em going. Big wheels moving, rolling on. That big wheels moving, rolling on. Yeah, you got me all night long, moving on. Why don't you let me take the wheel for a while? What's that? Hey, buddy, ain't you supposed to have your eyes open when you're gone? Said big wheels moving, rolling on. Oh, let's see. There's got to be another one. There's got to be another one. Uh, let's see. Big wheels. Then there's another. What's the other one called? It's song lyrics trucking on down the Great Divide. Wolf Creek Pass. Song lyrics Wolf Creek Pass. Me and Earl was a hauling chickens on the flatbed out of Wiggins, and we spent all night on the uphill side of 37 miles of hell called Wolf Creek Pass, which is up on the Great Divide. Well, we was sitting there sucking on toothpicks and drinking knee highs and onion soup mix. And I says to Earl, let's mail a card to Mother and then send them chickens on down to the other side. Yeah, let's give 'em a ride. Wolf Creek Pass way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side. Well, Earl put her down his bottle and Mash stepped foot down on the throttle, and then a couple of boobs. Yeah. And then a couple of boobs with a thousands cubes of a 1948 Peterbilt screamed to life. That's right. We woke them chickens up. Well, we roared on up that shoulder and spraying pine cones, rocks, and boulders, and put 400 ahead of them Rhode Island Reds and a couple of burnt out roosters on the line. Well, look out below, 'cause here we go. Wolf Creek Pass up away from the Great Divide. We're trekking on down the other side. Well, we commenced on the trucking, and them hens they commenced to clucking, and then Earl took out a match and scratched his pants. And then he lit up a unused half of $1 cigar and took a puff. Says, "My, ain't this pretty up here?" I says, "Earl, this hill can cause a spill, so you better slow down if you're gonna kill us. Just make one mistake, and it's the pearly gates, and from this 85 cents of USDA approved chicken cluckers. Well, you won't hit second. Well, way up Wolf Creek Pass, way up on the Great Divide, we're trekking on down the other side. Well, Earl grabbed on the shifter and he stabbed that into fifth gear, and then the chrome-plated, fully illuminated, genuine accessory shift knob came right off in his hand. I says, "You want to screw that thing right back on there, Earl?" Well, he was trying to thread it on there, and when the fire flew off of his cigar, and it dropped on down and sort of rolled around, and then it hit the cuff of Earl's pants, and a burned and a hole in his sock, and yeah, sort of set him right on fire. Well, I looked out the window and I started to counting the phone poles and going by and at a rate of 4 to 70 to the seventh power. And well, I put 2 and 2 together and I added 12 and carried the 5 and come up with 22,000 telephone poles an hour. Well, I looked at Earl, and his eyes was wide and his lips was curled, and his legs was fried and his hands was frozen to the wheel. Well, look, uh, like a tongue. Oh, his hands was frozen to the wheel, like a tongue to a steel in the middle of a blizzard. And I says, "Earl, I'm not the type to complain, but this time has come for me to explain that if you don't apply some brakes real soon, they're going to be skipping us up with a stick and a spoon." Well, Earl reaches back and he cocked that leg and he stepped down as hard as he could on them brakes. And the pedal went clear to the floor. And it stayed right there on the floor. And he says it was sort of like stepping on a plum. Well, from there on down, it was just really pretty. It wasn't a hairpin country, and well, the switchback city. Well, on one of them looked like a can full of worms. Another one looked like a merle germs, and right in the middle of the whole darn show was a real nice tunnel. You wouldn't you know? Now, sign says clearance to 12-foot line, but them chickens was stacked 13.9. And well, we shot that tunnel at 110, and like gas was through a funnel and eggs through a hen. Well, we took the top row of chickens right on off. Well, sticking them slicker than come off a Louisiana swamp. Well, we went down and around and around and down, and we run aground at the edge of town. bashed into the side of a feed store in downtown Pagosa Springs. Wolf Creek passed way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side. Wolf Creek passed way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side. All right, there you go. That was it. That was all we're gonna do. All right, that wasn't too awful good. It's been a long time since I done that. There goes them stop signs going bling bling bling. That's a whole different song. That's why it didn't sound right. All right then. Anyway, looks like it's story time with TV Grandpa. That's right. TV Grandpa's gonna go ahead and tell you a good bedtime story if we can find one. We're gonna tell you a story. If I can find it, I'm gonna try to find it. Short stories for children. Bubble, bubble, boo. Ba-do, boo, ba-do, boo. Ba-la-la, ba-la-la, ba-do-do-do. Ba-do, da, ba-boo. Ba-ba-dee-da-da-boo. All right, let's see what we got to tell. Stories to tell. We're gonna tell them well. We're gonna tell that story. A story to tell. We're gonna tell it well. Talk got the personality. Want personality. Ain't personality. Want personality. Oh, what personality. I've got a split personality, a short personality, tall personality. I'm Mr. Personality, that's me. Oh, that is me. My father's dragon. That is the story we're going to tell today. So, all right, kids, just like always, it's time for TV Grandpa. And TV Grandpa is going to say, let's get it all together. Come what may. Let's jump up on the couch or on the bed, wherever it is that you rest your sleepy head. And here we go. Get ready to listen to TV Grandpa and Story Time. My chapter 1, My Father's Dragon. My father meets the cat. One cold rainy day, when my father was a little boy, he met an old alley cat on his street. Well, the cat was very trippy and uncomfortable, so my father said, "Wouldn't you like to come home with me?" This surprised the cat. She had never before met anyone who cared about an old alley cat, but she said, "I'd be very much obliged if I could sit by a warm furnace and perhaps have a saucer of milk." "Well, we have a very nice furnace to sit by," said my father, "and I'm sure my mother has an extra saucer of milk." Well, my father and the cat became good friends. But my father's mother was very upset about the cat. She hated cats, particularly ugly old alley cats. "Elmer Elevator," she said to my father, "if you think I'm going to give that cat a saucer of milk, you're very wrong. Once you started feeding stray alley cats, you might as well expect to feed every stray in town, and I'm not going to do that." So this made my father very sad, and he apologized to the cat because his mother had been so rude. He told the cat to stay anywhere and that somehow he would bring her a saucer of milk each day. Well, my father fed the cat for 3 weeks, but one day his mother found the cat's saucer in the cellar, and she was extremely angry. She whipped my father and threw the cat out the door. But later on, my father sneaked out and found the cat. Together they went for a walk in the park and tried to think of nice things to talk about. My father said, "When I grow up, I'm going to have an airplane, and wouldn't it be wonderful to fly just anywhere you might think of?" "Would you like to fly very much?" asked the cat. "I certainly would. I'd do anything if I could fly." "Well," said the cat, "if you really like to fly that much, I think I know of a sort of way you might get to fly while you're still a little boy." "You mean you know where I could get an airplane?" "Well, not exactly an airplane, but something even better. As you can see, I'm an old alley cat, but in my younger days, I was quite a traveler. My traveling days are over, but last spring I took just one more trip and sailed to the island of Tangerine, and stopping at the port of Cranberry. And well, I just so happened that I missed the boat. And while waiting for the next, I thought I'd look around a bit. I was particularly interested in a place called Wild Island, which we had passed on our way to Tangerine. Wild Island and Tangerine are joined together by a long strip of rocks, but people never go to Wild Island because it's mostly jungle and inhabited by a very wild animals. So I decided to go across the rocks and explore it for myself. And it certainly is an interesting place. But I saw something there that made me want to weep. Okay, looks like it's time for chapter 2. My Father's Dragon, chapter 2. Let's get rid of that part. My father runs away. The wild animal island is practically cut out of two by a very wide and muddy river, continues the cat. And this river began near one of end of the island, and it flowed into the ocean at the other. Now, the animals there were very lazy, and they used to hate having to go all the way around the beginning of this river to get to the other side of the island. It made visiting inconvenient and mm, mail deliveries slow, particularly during the Christmas rush. Crocodiles could have carried passengers and mail across the river, but crocodiles are very moody and not the least bit dependable, and are always looking for something to eat. They don't care if the animals have to walk around the river. So that just what the animals did for many years. But what does this have to do with airplanes? Asked my friend, father, who thought the cat was taking an awfully long time to explain. "Be patient, Elmer," said the cat, and she went on with her story. "Well, one day, about 4 months before I arrived on Wild Island, a baby dragon fell from a low flying cloud uh, onto the bank of the river, and he was too young to fly very well, and as babies, and he bruised one wing quite badly, so he could not get back to his cloud. The animals found him And soon afterward, the every afterward afterwards, and everybody said, "Why, this is just exactly what we've needed all these years." They tied a big rope around his neck and waited for the wing to get well. And this was going on to end all their cross the river troubles. "I'd never seen a dragon," said my father. "Did you see him? How big is he?" "Oh, yes, indeed, I saw the dragon. In fact, we became great friends," said the cat. "I used to hide in the bushes and talk to him when nobody was around. He's not a very big dragon, about the size of a large black bear, although I imagine he's grown quite a bit since I left. And he's got a long tail and yellow and blue stripes. His horn and his eyes are at the bottom of his feet are bright red, and he has glowing golden wings, uh, golden covered wings." Now, "Oh, how wonderful," said my father. "What did the animals do with him when his wings got well?" "Well, they started training him to carry passengers. And even though he is just a baby dragon, they worked him all day and all night, too. Sometimes they'd make him carry loads and that are much too heavy. And if he complains, they twist his wings and beat him. And he's always tied to a stake on a rope just long enough to go across the river. His old friends are the crocodiles. His only friends are the crocodiles who say hello to him once a week if they don't forget. No, really, he's the most miserable animal I have ever come across. And when I left, I promised that I'd try to help him someday, although I couldn't see how. The rope around his neck is about the biggest, toughest rope you can imagine, which so many knots it would take days to untie them. Anyway, when you were talking about airplanes, you gave me a good idea. Now, I am quite sure that if you were able to rescue the dragon, which wouldn't be the least bit easy, he'd let you ride him most anywhere, provided you were nice to him. Well, of course. How about trying it? "Oh, I'd love to," said my father, and he was so angry at his mother for being rude to the cat that he didn't feel the least bit sad about running away from home for a while. And that very afternoon, my father and the cat went down to the docks to see about ships going to the island of Tangerine. They found out that a ship would be sailing the next week. So right away they started planning for the rescue of the dragon. The cat was a great help in suggesting things for my father to take with him, and she told him everything she knew about Wild Island. Of course, she was too old to go along. Everything had to be kept very secret so that when they found or brought anything to take on the trip, they hid it behind a rock in the park. The night before my father sailed, he borrowed his father's knapsack, and he and the cat packed everything very carefully. He took a chewing gum, 2 dozen pink lollipops, a package of rubber bands, black rubber boots, a compass, a toothbrush, and a tube of toothpaste, 6 magnifying glasses, a very sharp jackknife, a comb, and a hairbrush, 7 hair ribbons, and different colors different colors, and an empty grain bag with a label saying cranberry. some clean clothes, and enough food to last my father while he was on the ship. He couldn't live on mice, so he took 25 peanut butter sandwiches and 6 apples, because that's all the apples he could find in the pantry. And when everything was packed, my father and the cat went down to the docks to the ships. A night watchman was on duty, and so while the cat made low, queer noises to distract his attention, my father ran over the gangplank onto the ship, and he went down into the hold and hid among some bags of wheat. And the ship sailed early the next morning. Let us go to our next chapter, chapter 3. Alrighty then, here we go, chapter 3. Well, let's see how much time. Oh, hey, Craig, sorry, 6 minutes over. Well, my father hid in the hold for 6 days and nights. Twice he was nearly caught when the ship stopped to take on more cargo. But at last he heard a sailor say that the next port would be Cranberry, and that they'd be unloading the wheat there. Well, my father knew that the sailors would send him home if they caught him. So he looked in his knapsack and he took out a rubber band and the empty grain bag with the label saying Cranberry. At the last moment, my father got inside the bag, knapsack and all, folded the top of the bag inside, and put the rubber band around the top. He did not look exactly like the other bags, but it was the best that he could do. And soon the sailors came to unload, and they lowered a big net into the hold and began moving the bags of wheat. Suddenly, one sailor yelled, "Great Scott! This is the queerest bag of wheat I've ever seen. It's all lumpy, but the label says it's to go to Cranberry." And then the other sailors looked at the bag too. And my father, who was in the bag, of course, tried even harder to look like a bag of wheat. And another sailor felt the bag, and he just happened to get a hold of my father's elbow. "I know what this is," he said. "This is a bag of old dried corn on the cob." And he dumped my father into the big net along with the bags of wheat. This all happened in the late afternoon, and so late that the merchants in Cranberry who had ordered the wheat didn't even count his bags until the next morning. And he was very punctual man and never late for dinner. The sailors told the captain, and the captain wrote down on a piece of paper that they had delivered 160 bags of wheat and 1 bag of dried corn on the cob. Well, they left the piece of paper for the merchant and the sailors. They sailed away that evening. Well, my father heard later that the merchant spent the whole next day counting and recording the bags and feeling each one trying to find the bag of dried corn on the cob. He never found it, because as soon as it was dark, my father climbed out of the bag, folded it up, and put the bag back in his knapsack. And he walked along the shore to a nice sandy place to lay down and sleep. My father was very hungry, and he woke up the next morning. And just as he was looking to see if he had anything left to eat, something hit him on the head. It was a tangerine. He had been sleeping right under a tree full of big, fat tangerines. And then He remembered that this was the island of Tangerine. Tangerine trees grew like wild everywhere, and my father picked as many as he had room for, which was about 31, and started to eat, started off to find Wild Island. Well, he walked and he walked and he walked along the shore and looking for rocks that joined the two islands. He walked all day. And at once, when he met a fisherman and asked him about Wild Island, the fisherman began to shake and couldn't talk for a long while. It, it, it seemed it scared him that much. And just thinking about it, finally he said, "Many people have tried to explore Wild Island, but no one has come back alive. We think they were eaten by the wild animals." This didn't bother my father, though. He kept walking and slept on the beach at night. And it was beautifully clear the next day, and way down the shore, my father could see a long line of rocks leading into the ocean. And away and way out at the end, he could just see a tiny patch of green. He quickly ate 7 tangerines and started down the beach. It was almost dark when he came to the rocks, but there, way out in the ocean, was the patch of green. He sat down and rested a while, remembering that the cat had said, "If you can, go out to the island at night, because then the wild animals won't see you coming along the rocks, and you can hide when you get there." So my father picked 7 more tangerines and put on his backpack or his black rubber boots and waited for dark. It was a very black night, and my father could hardly see the rocks ahead of him. Sometimes they were quite high, and sometimes they were, the waves almost covered them, and they were slippery and hard to walk on. Sometimes the rocks were far apart, and my father had to get a running start and leap from one to the next. And after a while, he began to hear a rumbling noise. It grew louder and louder as he got nearer to the island. At last, it seemed as if he was right on top of the noise. And he was. He had jumped from a rock onto the back of a small whale whose was fast asleep and cuddled up between 2 rocks. The whale was snoring and making more noises than a steam shovel. So it never heard my father say, "Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that was you." And it never knew my father had jumped on its back by mistake. And for 7 hours my father climbed and slipped and leapt back and forth to the rock. But while it was still dark, he finally reached the very last rock and stepped off of it onto Wild Island. Okay, now then, we're going to pause here for today. And then tomorrow we will continue. That's what we're going to do. Scratch that. Scratch that. Scratch that. Select all. Delete that. Delete that. Select all. Backspace. All right. Should say chapter 4. Okay. Go to sleep. Okay, tomorrow we will pick up on chapter 4. Okay? Alrighty then. Okay, here we go. Looks like it's time for the daily bread portion of the program. And our daily bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you today by the Bible with Frisco 2021. The Bible with Frisco 2021 is the daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Frisco 2021 will be Zechariah 9 through 12 and Revelation 20. Do not forget to tune into the Bible with Frisco 2021 for your daily reading of the Bible. Okay, Lion, Lamb, Savior. That's right, Lion, Lamb, Savior, and we will be reading Revelation 5 1 through 7. That way, we will know about the Lion, the Lamb, and the Savior. The scroll and the Lamb. Then I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll with writing on both sides and sealed with 7 seals. And I saw mighty angels proclaiming in a loud voice, "Who is worthy to break the seal of and open this scroll?" But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside it. I wept and I wept because no one was found out who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside. And then one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. See the Lion on the of the tribe of Judea, the root of David, has triumphed. He has triumphed, and he is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals." And then I saw a lamb looking as if it had been slain, standing at the center of the throne, encircled by the 4 living creatures and the elders. While the lamb had 7 horns and even 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. And he went and he took the scroll from the right hand of him who sat on the throne. Okay, that was our daily bread portion of the program, Revelation 5 through 7, which is the end of our daily bread show, which is the end of the Shen show. And the daily bread portion of the program was brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2021. The Bible with Briscoe 2021 is daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2021 for your daily reading of the Bible. Alrighty, hey, my throat's kind of getting scratchy and rough, but that's okay, folks. I'll just keep it going as long as I can. That's because, hey, it's the end of the show. I got one more song for you, though, and it goes like this. Oh, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. Goodbye, my friends. It's a time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show. And as always, you know, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see me tomorrow because, well, hey, I'll be here. And I hope that you are too.